Welcome back to Houston Newsmakers, and welcome again to Dr. Brenda Hellier, the Chancellor of San Jacinto College. It's been too long since you've been here. It has been too long. But we got a good reason to come here. You're the chair-elect of the Texas Association of Community Colleges.
That's correct.
TACC. I like the sound of that. We'll talk more about that in general, but you're coming up on 10 years as Chancellor at San Jac.
That is right. It's been a great 10 years. We are really doing outstanding things. Enrollment's up. We had 35,000 students this past fall. Wow. And we're just really cooking things.
It seems to me that in that time, there's been a lot of evolution, has there not, in terms of what community colleges have been doing and are tasked with doing to make these communities whole.
So we're really focused on students completing what they start. We accept 100% of the students that come in and apply for us, but then how do we make sure that they stay on that path? How do we make sure that they complete their goals? And that's what we're focused on. So we awarded almost 7,500 credentials last year. That's a 167% increase over the 10-year period. And that's what we focus on. And how do we remove barriers within our system?
I know the students who come really, when they leave there, they have a sense of accomplishment, achievement, and that kind of gives them the springboard to go and do great things in the communities.
That's exactly right. If you come to our graduation, our youngest graduate could be 16 and 17 earning an associate degree, the oldest being 74. And everybody in between. And what you see are certificates getting them out into the workforce, associate degrees for workforce, or associate degrees to transfer.
Which makes it all that more important for the state to provide support that you need. Because they're partners, are they not, with community colleges and what you need to do?
They are partners. So the 50 community colleges across the state, they enroll almost 700,000 students. That is 43% of the higher education enrollment. And so 73% of the freshmen and sophomore across the states are in community colleges. And so the state's an important partner. They are one of our top 3 revenue sources. They represent around 24 to 28% of the revenue for community colleges. And so we are constantly looking at how do we better serve our community and better serve our state.
With the legislative session now, what's the focus now? Is it just a matter of saying, look, we need more money because you know we need more money and give us more money? But how do you work that out?
It's never that simple. So our top agenda item is funding, but we are also looking at student success point funding as being the key. And student success point funding is our performance funding mechanism. And so we're the first, I guess, sector of higher education to come forward and say, we believe performance funding is important. And so we're paid around enrollment, but then we're also paid on these student success points. And that's helping students complete from progressing through developmental education, college readiness, transfer, and credentials.
Isn't that a good way, though, when you're asking for funding, to make sure that there is some way to analyze where that money is going and the effectiveness of how the money is being used?
I think it's an important way, and that's why the community colleges came together and designed this system, and we designed it about 6 years ago, knowing that that was an important component of the work that needed to be done. And it really aligns by the 60 by 30 Texas plan, which is our higher education plan. So by year 2030, we want 60% of the working population to have credentials. That's where our student success points align.
So in the state legislative session now, what kinds of things are you do? What kind of timeline is there surrounding anything that you're asking for? Is this it kind of walks its way through? Do you expect it to just not come together until the last week of the session? How is it going to work?
Well, I've been in Austin the last 2 weeks, and the dynamics there are really interesting. It just seems like there's a collaboration and a real willingness to work together between the House and the Senate, Republicans and Democrats. So I'm really hopeful for how things are going to come together. But it's the committees just got announced, and so we're anxious to get hearings going. We will have a Senate Finance hearing February 13th, and our bills around funding will come forward. And so we'll just start working from there. The first bill that came out looked positive, but we still need increases in rates around this funding.
How would you want people to get involved? You know, local people who have a vested interest in how well the community colleges do. How would you suggest we can do that?
Around the legislative session, it would be letting your legislators know how important the community colleges are in your community, letting your community college players know, so that we can have you come testify on our behalf. If there's something we're not doing to meet your needs, we need to hear that also. But really getting engaged with us around that and asking the questions.
I'm going to put the information about San Jacinto College on my website, because I have been to one of the graduations, so
Yes,
I've been
you
able to
have.
see it and see the range of people who come there and the success that they have based upon what you and your colleagues have done there. Just amazing success stories. So
They really are.
yeah, thank you for what you're doing now, and good luck in Austin.
Thank you.
We'll
We
keep
really appreciate the support.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to put all information on our website. You know where it is, Newsmakers page on clicktohouston.com.